everybody, it's Juan Navarro, and you're listening to the FWACATA podcast. If you're talking to it, I can't hear you. I can't do anything about that. That's cool though. I'm not judging. How you guys doing? Happy New Year. We're in 2022, and we're gonna attack 2022 at all fucking ends in this episode. We're gonna fucking attack it, me, you, together, alright? You go under, you do that thing where you like kneel down behind him, and then I push him, and then he falls over you, and then we beat the fuck out of him and take 2022's money. You down? Okay, on 1, 2, 3, let's go. Right? Ah, come on. So yeah, we'll talk about attacking it, trying to see what we can do. Being in the present, being in the now, and then a couple of fucking issues of what I'm going to be doing this year as far as 2022 for myself. Omicron be damned, motherfucker. And yeah, and then just chill for a bit, and then just relax until 2022 looks the other way. Okay, don't look at him. All right, now get him. We made it to 2022. Good for us. Good for you. Good for me. Good for everybody. We made it. Welcome to the FWACATA podcast, and it's the year 2022. I feel like this is a far future episode or something. Like, because every time I hear the year, being an 80s kid, you're like, what the fuck? You know, this is a little. This is supposed to be in the far future. We should be, running around with jetpacks and anti-grav cars and I don't know what else. Like, hey, my AIDS is acting up. I'll just take some AIDS off and I'll be good. Robitussin with AIDS and I'll be fine. And yet we're still here. We have other shit to worry about. We have some cool shit, some not cool shit, but we're still here. And I guess that's why, we gotta love the present. How are you guys? How was the New Year's? How's everything? I'll tell you one thing. I wanted to do this last week, but I got fucking sick. Luckily, from all it looks like, I didn't get COVID. I didn't get the Omicron. I was just sick with the flu from traveling. Went to Texas, went to New Mexico, went to a couple of places with my girlfriend, and we were fine. Everything was hunky-dory. And then I got back into Miami, and I just remember that after the night that we got back in, the next day I was in a Publix getting groceries, and I go, shit, I'm starting to feel crappy. I have like the heat in my eyes. Like, I have weird ways of knowing I'm getting sick. Other people say it's a cough, it's a sneeze. I'm like, I feel heat in my eyes and my elbows hurt. And that's how I know when I'm getting sick. And I was like, oh shit. And you might notice it in my voice. I'm still getting over it. I still have some sniffles. And that's just going to be how it is right now. This is just the fucking, the sniffle stage of humanity. For the one thing that led to another, and I was sick. And then the other thing too is, see, it's happening right now. As I talk, I get clogged up. My vocal cords get kind of like just phlegmy, I guess. I don't know what the fuck it is, and I just have to stop, clear my throat, and keep going. And I don't know if that's cold or old man shit, because I'm about to hit 44, and so that's another thing too. So that's something I gotta address sometimes too, because I feel like a fucking kid, and I feel like I'm talking to you like I'm fucking 27 or something. Like, yeah, guys, let's go. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm so much fucking older, and I don't give a shit about anything. I mean, I don't go to the club because I'm not single anymore. I'm with a woman I love, so I don't have to like hunt for pussy. And so, like, that's one of the main reasons. And then most of the time I've done it so much that it's like, what are you going to find? But it's still fun because sometimes some crazy shit happens. That's why you want to go to the club. So, yeah. So we made it to 2022, man. I took the holidays off. I tend to do that. I tend to get off social media. From pretty much Thanksgiving to New Year's, I say fuck everything and I don't do anything. It's just the thing I do. I think it's a good way of unplugging. I was still like on there looking at shit, obviously. Who the fuck totally unplugs from social media? But I had to take a break from it, get away, get some like perspective. It's funny because the muscles that you use to promote and shit are still there. So there's times that you do something or you're working on something and they start to twitch and say, post this, put on this, make a note and put on the podcast, do this, do that, and everything else. But once you get long enough from it, they actually weaken and atrophy a little bit. And now that you come back, you're like, oh man, I feel like I'm talking too much. I feel like I'm posting too much. And it's like, it's the fucking internet. No one gives a shit. And the end all be all, you know, like you get 15 minutes of fame literally every time you post something. So what the fuck? You're not really hitting anybody over the head. But I am glad of a lot of you that sent messages and shit like that. Just, you know, some of you guys sent me New Year's messages, happy, you know, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Salam Kwanzas, stuff like that. And you were missing the podcast. You were asking for it. And I was like, hey, watch the last episode. I'll tell you what happened. But I felt really good. You know, everybody would seem to go back into the stuff. Some of you guys are seeing my older shit that I used to do with my buddy Chris. Poet Chris Guillen. On there you can find some of those podcasts on there. I gotta make a big post that kind of collects all the podcasts, because I think I know I've done more than 150 podcasts so far, but there were 3 different podcasts, one with my friend Chris, one by myself for a long time that I did, you know, posting through my own thing, and then now with Anchor I got like 38 or something like that. So yeah, so this is like the 39th or 40th podcast with Anchor. And I think it's wonderful. I think it's awesome. It's just easier, because it used to be such a pain in the ass. Anyway, sorry, I was just like, what? I was looking at messages. So what do you guys have planned? You know, I think, you know, they talk about having a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. Well, what about your 1-year plan? Or what's your 1-month plan? What are you going to tackle this month? What are you going to go and do? And I'm not one of these people that like, oh man, you got to fucking go out there. You got to like, you know, fucking do this. But I am also. I am like somebody that I really believe you should always be working on some aspect of yourself, you know? And it's just fun. It's good to have, because like that time passes, man. That's the only reason I tell people just to fucking do shit. Time fucking passes. There's a kind of meme thing that goes around that's a great one. It's from a taco of different actors, and it's like Robert De Niro and Adam Sandler and Jamie Foxx, and one of the people talking is Tom Hanks, and they talk about this too will pass, and that is poignant, because especially coming from somebody like Tom Hanks, who's such a, I think, well-rounded, liked actor guy, that I think even if QAnon is right, we'd be okay with him eating babies. But he talks about this too will pass, and it's like when things are shitty, when things are bad, when you feel the lowest of the low, this too will pass, and you're feeling great, everything's awesome, everybody loves you, this too will pass. Like you know, time is your ally, and one thing that's ever present is change. It's always going to happen. You're always going to have something like that on you. You're always going to be changing. And that's why you should spend your time doing and working on something towards that. I say all this because, you know, I don't know. I have never been one to fuck with people's existences. I sometimes envy those that can just sit back and just chill. I look at people like that and I'm amazed by them, really. I look at them like, wow, man, I wish I could fucking kind of, you know, really do kind of shit like that and just fucking say, fuck it, you know, oh, well, then life happens, blah, 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 you know, and I can't fucking do that. I gotta move, maneuver, get to the next thing, do this, do that, and that's just me. That's how it is. I just don't see any other fucking way of doing it. And if you can exist like that, that's great. That's amazing. That's being present. That's being Buddha, for fuck's sake. You know, that's like just being alive. But if not, then what the fuck are you really doing? And what are you really focusing on? You know, what's for it? If you're miserable, if you're happy, you're happy. Fuck that. I say pursue happiness. Don't ever, you know, but the happiness can come from the journey. Happiness can come from the trying. Happiness can come from the frustration. Happiness can come from the tears in the dirt. That can be your happiness, because you are trying, you're working, you're making, you're doing. The worst is when you sit there going, what the fuck have I done? And all you have is regret. And regret you can't do anything about except feel it. I'm more about the times, I guess if you could say the times that I get pissed off at myself is more the times that I said no, or I didn't try, or I didn't do, than when I did. And I say that again all the time because I look back at a lot of things, especially now. I think there's one of the things that happens, and it just happens, and I'm not like fucking boo-hoo, but you get older, you start to atrophy a little bit. You don't have the recovery time you used to. And so for my younger audience that's out there, and even the older ones, take advantage now that you have your health. Because you kind of just slowly slide into shit. And right now you have the amazing ability to kind of come back. You can get fucked up, you come back. Get fucked up, come back. If you're 20 right now and you fucking bust your knee open, they'll fucking find a million ways of like putting your knee back together and doing that. You're 40 and you fuck up your knees, they're like, well, they don't make parts for you anymore. So you're fucked. So take advantage of that. So coming back to the theme is, all right, so what are you doing right now? What's happening right now? And I'm not saying you got to write a list, you got to write that or anything else. Just sit for a second. Think about it. What do you want? What do you really want? Maybe it's not something to have, but just a situation to be in. You know? And you got to realize what's in your control and what's not in your control. Because you know what happens is, in essence, we want something that's really not in our control. We have to be able to really understand how it's not in our control. And I say that because most of the time, one of the things that we want is a relationship. We have a certain someone. Right now, you have somebody in your mind. Somebody you long for. That you love. That you care about. And you're not where you want to be with that person. So right now, you're kind of going, fuck, you know, how do I... You know, maybe you're seeing them right now. Maybe you're friends. Maybe you don't know each other too well. And you want to have more than that. Well, don't put all your chips on that shit. Because I'll tell you from experience, people are one thing you can't control. And you can present your best case. You could be fucking winner. And I'm flicking my... Yeah, that's right. I'm snapping my fingers and doing the finger guns right now. You could be Johnny on the fucking spot. Or Janie on the spot. And be awesome, amazing, and incredible. And the person still doesn't want you. In essence, that's what it is. It's not that they don't like you. It's not that they don't care about you. Hell, it could be that it's not that they don't even love you. They might love you, but you're not in that lane. And this is the thing that's gonna fucking like ruin this year for you. This is gonna be the next couple of months of you rolling your eyes and crying and not being able to sleep. Well, fucking, this is why you don't put all that hope on a person. Relationships are wonderful, and it's amazing how much the soul can recover from a bad relationship or from a bad breakup, and it's amazing the resiliency of love and what you can do. I am proof of that. That I've found it again, that I have it again, and everything else. But I don't hang up my happiness on a person. I don't hang it up on even a dog. I mean, it shouldn't be. Because if you want to set yourself up for disappointment, if you want to set yourself up for fucking hurt, is hanging your love and your friendship and your everything on a person. You know, that's just gonna fuck things up for yourself. So I would try not to fucking do that going forward. Try to hang it onto yourself and what you have control of. You know, right now you could be in a shit job. You could be a job that you say, this fucking blows dog. One of the things that I've seen that I have not seen before, and I say, okay, this is your one advantage. All right? Being older, when I was in college, you could still technically work a shit job, get enough money from the government, and go to school. Yeah, it'd still be tough. It would be a pain in the ass. It would be a ass-beating thing. And I did it. I did it myself. It took me 7 years to get my bachelor's degree, but I don't owe money to anybody. So I'm glad about that. I will say this, too. It was a whole other time. It was a different fucking time. I don't think you guys could do that right now, technically. I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen how Miami-Dade credits are or whatever else. So if you're setting yourself up for something like that, and you want to, expand your world, and you want to do all these kind of things and everything else. One thing I saw that was advantage is that a lot of young guys, either younger folks are living at home or they're living with their parents, or older folks are living with their parents now again, because shit is tough, especially in Miami. Fucking rent's through the roof. And I see that people like are putting money away and everything else. Man, it's not enough to save. Fucking invest in some shit. I have seen that even me, myself at this age, where I've put some money to the side and I said, okay, I'll put it in the market, or I'll put it in this, or I'll put it in that. And it's gone better for me doing that by way more than just having it sit in a bank. Don't let it sit in a fucking bank. I'll tell you that right fucking now. You're shooting yourself in the leg, because they're pretty much grabbing your money and making money off it, and you're not doing shit. You got to figure that the depreciation or the oh my god, what's the word? Depreciation on cash a lot of times is about 3% every year. So every $100, you lose $3 every year if you're saving it. So after 3 years, you lost $9. How is that? Now you have $91, pretty much with inflation. So how's that good? That's horrible. But if you put it in an S&P 500 and you invest in that, it goes up by 3%, 4%. So at least you're going to be steadfast on it. And there's times that there's even more bigger bumps than that. So just by putting it there, you'll make your better money and you have it start. That's if you're not going to touch the cash ever and everything else. Remember, there's also short-term capital gains tax and long-term capital gains tax, and that's a whole other thing. I'm learning about that myself. But I'm saying this is the kind of thing, all right now, we're going back to being present and being right now in 2022 and the plan, yo. That's what you gotta fucking put in money. What are you gonna do with that? Put your money away. Invest your money. What are you gonna do? I have shit in crypto. I have shit in other stuff. Nothing out of the world. $100, $200 here. But do those small fucking things. You never know what those little things do. You will blow your money on other shit and everything else. It's the same thing with businesses. I don't want to do a business episode. So there's another thing. I want to talk about the stuff I want to do this year. I want to start a business episode, just like that's one of my things. Every time I see somebody starting a business or doing a business, they tell me about it, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I love that. I think it's fun. I want to do like maybe interviews for the podcast when I do the Goblin Market again. I think it's just an interesting aspect of it. And I want to see what they say, what they do, and everything. But either way, what was I going to say? So that's one of my takes on it. But even if you're doing a business or you're putting something together and everything else, look at the overall, like, everybody to me seems to be like, if you ever watch South Park, there's an episode about the underpant gnomes. The underpant gnomes come out, and they're like, why do you take underpants? And they're like, well, A, we take underpants. And then B, C, profit. And no one explains the fucking B part. And I think that's what a lot of people focus on. I think they have something they love, and they want to hear about making money at it. Because you hear that old adage that if you learn to make money at something you love to do, you'll never have to work a day in your life again, blah, blah, blah. But they don't understand that you have to look at it objectively and say, how does this make money? How does this world go? And a lot of people don't do that. So I want to explore that idea too and put that together. I just laugh because there's some people that are like, wow, underpants gnomes. And other people that I'm like, holy shit, like I'm underpants gnomes to compare to them. I look at them and I'm like, how the fuck are you making so much money? So I want to do an episode like that and everything else. And I'll probably do a whole thing on what I'm going to set up for this year later on in the podcast. But anyway, back to 2022, being present, being now, just look at it that way. And you'll pressure yourself. Don't fucking be horrible to yourself about attacking 2022. If you fuck up, you fuck up. Look, man, this first week has been shit. I was supposed to go back to the gym. I've been pretty good about my eating and everything else. I have to admit, I've been pretty on it. My vitamins and my minerals and taking my shit and taking my. I'm still smoking like an asshole. I'm trying to get more and more into vaping, and like that from vaping maybe to fucking finally quit. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna have to buy like a Bane mask with like vapes on it or something to fucking stop me from inhaling stupid shit. So I have a weird conspiracy theory of that's helped me not get sick these last 2 years. Because this is the first time I've been sick in 2 years. So, I don't know. I've been dodging the COVID pretty good since then. And I haven't gotten it technically, so what the hell? I haven't, I've gotten the negative test, so I don't know. I've been pretty good about it. What else was I gonna say? So yeah, so that I think that's the thing right now. To be present and say, okay, how are we tackling it? And if you fuck up, then you fuck up. You're fine. This first week was shit. We were sick. My girlfriend's sick now. She was taking care of me, and now she's sick. And I'm like, shit. We were gonna be like, Monday, we're gonna hit the gym. Nope. It's fine. That's nothing bad. We're still doing shit and pushing forward and making things happen. You know what I'm saying? As long as you are always doing your... And as long as you're trying your best. Because this is the thing. Maybe sometimes, this is the truth of the matter. This is a real ugly fact of life. You could try your darndest. You could really bust your ass. You put your whole fucking body forward into an effort and still fucking fail. God knows why. It could be the time, the place, the efforts against you. God knows. Or it's just not for you at that moment. And this thing that you want so badly, you're not going to fucking get it. That's okay. That's not going to kill you. It's not going to destroy you. That's okay. You have to tell yourself that. Then you have to go from there and say, all right, so then what? Well, okay, now you shift gears to the next thing. Or it's another time. It's another place. I will say that for relationships. I have been in relationships where it's been off again, on again, off again, on again. And later on, we catch ourselves and we say, well, why did it work now and didn't work before? Well, we were in different places. We were different people. We were different times. So you have to be present and know when the time and place is. It's very open. It's that very, if there's something that's very malleable and very, very connects to life is Buddhism. Even as a Christian, I've looked at Buddhist teachings, which Buddhism is more of a mindset than a religion. But there's always that idea of like that open palm collects more water than a closed fist. And as much as you can beat the walls and do all the shit, a lot of times just being an open palm and being open to things, yet still strong, allows for you to live life and get over these things and understand it. Because if right now you draw breath, that was horrible because I'm all goopy and sicky, but if you're still drawing breath and your eyes are still open and you're over health, you are winning. You are winning. You are doing amazing right now. You are a fucking champion. All right? So all these other things, let it come to pass. Maybe it's not now. Maybe it's later. It's okay. Don't fucking kick yourself. Kick yourself when you fuck up, fine, if you need it. But don't fucking keep yourself down either. Because if you do that, you'll never recover and get to the good shit. And that's what happens a lot of times. People don't get to the good shit. So being present and being now and understanding those things. Beware the narrative. Beware the bullshit that's out there. Beware what they're telling you. Beware what you're hearing. Beware what people are imposing on you. Look at the information. Look at what's going on. And know your feelings. Know your thoughts. Be careful of the people that you surround yourself with. I see a lot of like this cringy kind of mean, people that you surround yourself with, those are the fucking assholes, and this is the really big attack. There's always those fucking, I'm a lion among the fucking hyenas, and all this other bullshit fucking antics and shit, and backstabbers out there, and a lot of this bullshit. I'm not saying that shit doesn't exist, but it's not that severe. Sometimes. This is a really ugly fucking shit. Most losers don't know they're losers. That's the ugly, ugly fucking thing. You could be a loser and you don't know you're a loser. How about that? And I could be one too. I'm not saying I'm off that list. In the hierarchy of fucking certain things, there might be somebody that looks at you right now and thinks you're a fucking loser. Thinks you're a fucking punk. Does it matter? No, it fucking does not. How do you fucking feel? And well, now the one thing to keep in mind is those fucking losers, the real fucking pieces of shit out there, they will drag you down. And sometimes they don't know they're doing it. They just think that's just how they live. A rat is a fucking rat is a fucking rat. A rat doesn't sit there and say, am I a rat or am I a lion? Am I something better? Am I something less? No, I'm a rat piece of shit. I gotta do rat piece of shit things. That's all it is. And it's fucking... You almost have to forgive it because they don't know any other way. Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do. You know? And so, if you want to really think in your mind, really process and put it in there, what that means, you know, for them and for yourself, and be careful of having those people around you, and be careful of it, because I have seen those that excel you. I am surrounded by an eclectic round of different people, and there is a lot of, the only thing I can say is there's a bunch of assholes and there's a lot of knife throwing. We're always fucking with each other way too hard. But I will say that it is something to being around people that will help you and bring you up. That there are people that are fucking bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and fucking cool that'll bring you up. That'll make you feel better, that make you feel righteous. And I think that's something you have to keep in mind. Keep you on your toes, in other words. And I think I have people like that. Some of them are retarded, but whatever. That's either here or there. That might be me too. But you have to have that around you. And there are some people that are going to tear you the fuck down. And sometimes those are your own family. There's friends and brothers and sisters and God knows, even somebody you're in a relationship with. And they tear you down. You got to be careful about that. Because sometimes they don't know any other way of being. You know? It always goes back to the basket of crabs. You know that a lot of times for crab fishermen, they have baskets open full of crabs. And they always say, well, aren't you afraid a crab will jump out or crawl out? It's like, no, they always pull each other down. So you have to think about that. Is that where we're at in the situation? Are you around just the other people that are going to pull you back down? And try to sometimes it's not about just straight up telling people to fuck off, but you know, you say, all right, I'm not going to call this person as much, or I'm not going to return the messages as much, I'm not going to prioritize this person as much, because what are they doing? And sometimes you got to tell them, you're like, hey dude, you're a fucking drag, why is that? And see what they say. I know, right? That's a lot. That's heavy. That's not easy. You know, breaking up with a friend is a weird thing, you know. I've zoned people out because of that. I have to admit I'm pretty good at zoning people out. And I just don't even develop certain relationships with people, you know. The people I like to be around with, I'm around with, and we talk and we'll send messages and we'll talk and shit. But sometimes they're busy themselves, so where it's just funny, where, you know, like my best friend growing up is a professor and he's an artist and he's a working artist and everything. So me and him only get together like once a fucking year sometimes. And it's funny because we'll go right back to being 5 years old and talk about He-Man. You know? So that's kind of like a cool situation. Or like my other friend, like Hyro, you know, he comes to the shop, we hang out, we talk shit, we like really get a lot off of each other's chest, and then we come back. And then he goes and he does his thing and I'll do mine. You know, we're not like constantly communicating, you know. So you gotta always have that idea in mind whenever you kind of put things together. So back to being in the present. So being in the present in 2022. Break it down, man. Break down that thing that you want to do this year. Say this year, this month, and then break it down to 12 months. You got 12 months to do it. What do you need to do in those 12 months? And in that next month, you have 4 weeks, 5 weeks. What do you have to do in those 4 or 5 weeks? And in those 4 or 5 weeks, you have a week. Those are 7 days. 7 days, what do you got to do in these next 7 days? And in the next 7 days, you have a day. What do you got to do in the next 24 hours? You know, in those 24 hours, what you going to do in the next hour? And so on and forth until you get to this right fucking second. And it's all right, I'm going to start right fucking now. And I think if you go through it with that idea, write it, plan it, go forward, let yourself stumble, let shit happen, get the extra weight off you, get fucking people off you, and go forward, you're going to get that thing that you want. You're going to accomplish that thing. As long as it's that thing and it's something personal and everything else. And But figure out what you want. That's a whole other bag. And once you have those things in hand, you're going to see that you're going to go smoothly forward. You're going to be fucking coasting. And like that, we can have this nice 2022, man. There's already been so much shit that's happened already. I'm going to do a whole other segment on that. Because 2021, 2022 is just beating the fuck out of us already. But you know, now you got to way forward. I want to hear what you guys want to do. Let me know in the comments, or send me an email. Send me something and let me know what you guys are planning to do. And we'll check with you in a year and see what happens. And maybe we'll do an interview or something. I don't know. It'll be kind of cool. You can always do Anchor voicemail, or you can send an email to FWACATA, FWACATA, @gmail.com. Let me know what's up. All right. Let's get this year fucking going. Alright, so I talked a lot of shit about attacking the year. And so what's your plan, Juan? Alright, so I got a couple of things coming up. And it's just insane shit. I'm looking at my like reminders list and my fucking notebook, and it's like, holy shit, I got a lot of stuff I want to do. And this is not new. I always want to do this, but I'm gonna break it down. And everything's interrelated. A lot of it is about devoting the time to it. It's getting harder nowadays. What with, you know, the need of sleep and all that good shit. Just planning. But the main thing is, again, attacking comics this year, getting some comic book stuff out. My main thing is getting the FWACATA quarterly done. It's practically done. I am just lettering shit. And truth of the matter is, I fucking hate lettering. I hate lettering with a goddamn passion. But it's one of those things that I like to do, because as I go through the comic and I start looking it over and I start changing things, and I kind of don't leave it to anybody. It's not like I can afford to have a letterer right now. People hire me as a letterer. And they pay me good money sometimes at letter comics, and I am an asshole about it because I hate fucking doing it. It's really fucking boring. But even on my own stuff, I think I like lettering other people's stuff more than mine, because at least it's entertaining. My stuff, I get kind of like, oh god, I listen to my own words sometimes again and again and again, and I just sit there going, you're a fucking hack, and I start fucking self-doubting and everything else. But yeah, so I want to get the quarterly done and get the quarterly going. So I want to get 4 issues out this year. They're going to be 32 pages. They're going to be various little shorts in it. When as they go, whole comic books are going to drop out of it. So you're going to see Res issue 2. You're going to see the first issue of Meat Hook, the first issue of Manslaughter, first issue of Sexually Transmitted Demons. And as we go, we're going to get those kind of things out. Pretty much the visual thing is going to be coming out. Webcomic wise, I want to get the rest of Zombie Years up. Issues 6 through 10. Well, 6 is up on my Patreon. 7, 8, and 9, I want to have it up on Webline Tunes. I can get half of 10 up. I got to actually finish the other half of 10, which is about 13 pages. I'm just reconsidering the script right now. So that the 10th issue will be out, and then I will have 5 issues on that end, and that'll be the second graphic novel. So that'll be 10 issues of Zombie Years, and then I'll plan the big 11th issue, and 11 through 15 will probably be the swan song for it. So that's what I'm trying to do for this year and get it done. And then I have a small side project that I'm trying to do that I've just made into a big ball of fucking problems for myself, because I started getting into the drawing way too much. But I started finally working on the Fugly comic, and I'm turning into an Instagram comic, because I've been fascinated by Instagram comics. I follow a lot of them on there. And I've been putting it up, and instead of making it like nice and loose and just chill, Juan, I just started fucking airbrushing shit and putting inks in it and doing all this crazy fucking shit. And I'm like, man, why did you do that for? You know, like, why the fuck did you do that for? So now I'm like, all right, I gotta figure how to waylay myself back to something simple. And I got other projects that I'm working on as I go. So, and that will turn into, the next part is my writing. So I have recently been like talking to friends and customers and everything else, and I pitch ideas. I use you guys as my focus groups, and I'll pitch ideas that I have and everything else. And I see people light up, and they like this and they like that, and they're like, "Oh, that's fucking cool," all this shit. man, you should write that. So, one of the things I need to do is really engage in my writing more. I have a sort of fantasy novel that I want to finish or want to do. It's ambitious to a certain degree, but I think it's just because of the technicality of it. But I'm like, so this is the reason why I'm like, alright, if I'm not good at it the first time, that's okay. If I fucking suck, I just need a sounding board to do it. But I want to get a good amount done before I do the sounding board. And I want to like get away from certain things. Because see, I love fantasy. I think fantasy is the coolest, one of the cooler fucking things you can get into. But everything follows the same tropish fucking bullshit behavior, the same kind of approach. No one's challenging it to a certain way. Where I've seen people where it challenges, believe it or not, in like Game of Thrones. Like the way you read that has a real fucking take on it. You know, it has some edge, it has some teeth, you know. Everything else is forsooth or trying to be Lord of the Rings or trying to be Stormbringer. And sucks. Just waylaid and blows dog, you know? And I just don't want to try to be that. I'd rather be Reservoir Dogs meets Lord of the Rings. I'd rather be fucking The Sopranos meets Lord of the Rings. I'd rather be a lot of other shit. So that's like my main take on everything on that end. This also goes into film. I just recently met with a friend of mine and we were talking shit. He's a filmmaker. And he told me straight up, it's like, hey man, I'm working on a project right now, but like in May, I'm gonna be available. Let's do a short film. We haven't done a short film in a while. If you write something and we can do it over a weekend and we can shoot it. And I'm like, fuck man. And he's gotten so good and he has the equipment. It's so funny because he talks about his equipment, but I think he's just gotten better as a filmmaker. It's funny how he because I almost feel like don't give credit to the fucking equipment you got. I think you got better as a filmmaker, and that's the reason why. That's something I don't know. I gotta relate to him a little bit more. But he talked about it, and he said, "Let's make a film. Let's put something together." And I'm like, "Fuck." I hadn't thought about it in a while. I want to see about doing something. I just want to find something that's like dynamic, that can, shoots all the little different on all the pistons, so that we can kind of fuck around with it too, and do something that we can. They're busy right now with a film, so when he's finished with it, so that's a big opportunity to have something that you can go and have done, and made. So that's a big deal. So I want to write something for that and develop it. I have a couple of ideas that I'm posting and putting together, but let's see. I don't know. I gotta develop that, but that's the reason why I gotta give time to writing and sitting down and writing and just getting that shit done. The next thing is probably my art, my painting. Lately I've just been pushing gouache on my sketchbook. I have the new Liquitex acrylic gouache, and I use it at home sometimes, and I'll just paint something like it's black and white, and I just do something in black and white. And I've been doing stuff with paint markers, and I've been doing stuff with my sketchbook, and it just gives me this itch to do these bigger pieces that I have behind me, and I want to work on, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, and I'm just like, why am I not doing it? It's just, again, a time situation. I mean, sometimes it's like, I feel like I always end up painting when I'm exhausted, and so I have like this near fuck it technique to everything that I want to I want to get out of this. I want to get out of my fucking technique and do something a little bit fucking nicer, like something more concentrated. Because it takes time, and it just takes something like concentration and giving yourself over to the canvas and putting something together. And I sometimes feel like I'm going to do this for now, and that's it. And I don't want to do that. I want to give it to. But I have a couple of paintings that I'm working on and everything else, so hopefully I'll have something this year to push forward. I'm going to try to see about getting a show maybe this year. Maybe do a show or be part of a show this year. That's my big thing. Other than that, yeah, going to the gym, trying to fucking give up smoking. Smoking's just like one of the fucking things I love the most. It's just one of the few things. I can give up food, I can give junk food, I can give up all this shit, sweets, drinking. It just feels I always as long as I have smoke, as long as I have a cigarette, I'll be fine. Like, if you want to see me start getting irritated, you want to see me start going fucking cuckoo, is when I haven't had a smoke in a while. And I can be good. I can be even good about that. But there's this limit that I just get to this point where I'm like, I need a fucking cigarette, and it's so hard. It's so hardwired into me. And let me see. I'm even thinking about like doing something drastic, like go to see an acupuncturist or go to do something, because this just is like, come on, man, this is not gonna end. It's not gonna end well. There's no story with cigarettes that ends well. So I gotta fucking figure something like that out. So going forward, hopefully do these, again, be on the podcast. I want to be 52 out of 52 this week, this year. I might make an extra podcast just to make up for it because of last week, and get a podcast in every week, even through the holiday break. I want to have some buffers and see if I do that. Get some people on here on the podcast, share some fucking time and talk shit. That's another thing I want to do. Just to expand on it. Do more YouTube shit, more YouTube live, put more videos. I want to see about putting some of the podcasts on the video and like have video of me drawing or something like that, so that there could be an audience through the video work also. So that's something else I gotta explore. And yeah, man, just make things better on that end, on that. And then work on the Patreon, have more stuff on the Patreon, more painting, more artwork, more comics. It's going to be related to zombie years. It's going to be related to other webcomics. So it's going to be a way for you to support and get cool shit through the Patreon. The blog, I'm going to be blogging more every Sunday as always. And then the Substack is going to be more on it, because I think each thing has its audience. So there's about 3,300 of you on my WordPress, 400 of you on my Substack, and I think about 10 subscribers. I don't know how many people actually read the Patreon, but the actual Patreon subscribers and everything else. So it's like I lost some this year. Understandable, especially with me not posting during the holidays. I can understand people are like, "What am I paying for?" So I'm going to try to push that more and get more stuff out. That reminds me, I gotta put like a new Patreon sticker or something like that. I gotta do a new design or something to bring people in. Okay, wow, I got cut off by my own alarm right there. So yeah, there's a new sticker on my Patreon or something like that. I gotta remember to do that. But yeah, so I think it's about consistency. I think I gotta just produce every day, produce every month, pick my battles, see what I can do, what I can't do, and just keep going forward and just marching on. So hopefully get a lot of work out, though. I gotta get a lot of work out, so I will be posting like crazy and being in your face, blah 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 blah. As always, you can go to FWACATA.com and follow all that shit, and let me know what's up. So yeah, so that's this year. Let's see what happens. Alright, so that's the podcast this week. I'm so glad to be back. It's nice to be back in the rhythm of things. Nice to get together with you guys again and talk shit and get stuff off my chest and yell at the wall and fucking just ponder the life's effervescent being of and all that good shit. This week I'm going to be at a taco fest this weekend, which is the weekend of the 15th and 16th of January. I will be at taco fest with Goblin's Heist. We will be shelling our wash and enjoying a good time. I think I will be doing some panels, so maybe I'll record some panels to post in the future for you guys to listen to and watch and all that good stuff. And then what else am I going to do? I will be posting new shit on Mondays on Substack, Tuesdays on Patreon, Wednesdays the podcast, Sundays is the blog, and then Thursdays I think I'm doing something for Substack, and then Fridays is whatever. I'm also posting daily sketches on my Instagram, and hopefully we'll be doing more stuff soon. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays are the claim sales over at Goblin's Heist on the Facebook page. So yeah, so you get a full plate of Juanness all up in your grill, motherfucker. Yeah. And so yeah, enjoy, you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Later, Slater. Be good.
One, two. That's it. That's it. That's it. With your arms now. That's it. That's it. Move.